Nathara at CrowSong Lodge, and I am behind still on my 31 Days of Tarot challenge from Ethony Dawn, and so playing catch up. I'm going to try to do several videos tonight, so we'll see how far I get. Today I'm recording day 5, and today's challenge is the card that stalked you for 2017. And for me, I actually don't get very many tarot readings for myself, and I don't actually do a whole lot for myself either. So there aren't really any tarot cards that stalked me. But I did have a whole bunch. I did have a couple that stalked my clients a lot this year. And even though, you know, our readings are not totally for us, they're for our clients, and you know, we don't need to hold on to those things. But when we find ourselves repeating the same lessons over and over and over again, I find oftentimes that means those lessons are also for us. Something my mother used to say is that we are often called to teach what we most need to learn. And I find that is also true in readings as well. That when we find ourselves delivering the same lessons and lectures to our clients over and over again, that means we need to be listening to them as well. So I have found that there are 3 of these cards that have been stalking my clients all year long. And through having to work with these cards so much, I've of course discovered more aspects and nuance to them myself, and are taking those lessons on board as well. And I found that in doing so, that these 3 cards are related in a way that is similar to how the Hanged Man, the Tower, and Death are related as well. I view those as 3 aspects of change, and I've talked about that several times in other videos, none of which I remember off the top of my head, so there's that. But those cards are, I'm going to try to give them to you in order. Oh look, they're all multiples of 5, that's fun. They are the Hierophant, and this is the Shadowscapes Tarot deck. So this is the Hierophant, a word I can never spell. The Devil, one of the favorite cards of the tarot. I think this guy gives us a very bad reputation, but I'm fond of him. And Judgment. And that's card number 20? Yes, 20. Judgment. So that's 5, 15, and 20. That's kind of a fun number there. 5 is not a popular number in numerology either. We'll circle back around to that. So, like I said, I'm viewing these cards very much the same way I view the change cards of the Hanged Man, the Tower, and Death. But for me, they have a slightly different relationship. So the Hierophant, for me, is often talking about tradition and the wisdom you gain from the people who came before you. So this is often family values, your community, your elders, your teachers, the things you've been taught, the way you've been raised, your traditions, the way things have always been, the wisdom that is passed down. Some of these things are wonderful knowledge that you should absolutely listen to. They're common sense, words of wisdom, words to live by, and some are outdated means, they're obsolete thoughts, they're useless superstition and should be kicked away. Some are good, some are bad. They're just part of what you've been taught. The Devil represents temptation. And just like the Hierophant, sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. These are the things you want. This is your id in action. This is candy, this is sweets, this is letting you express yourself and have what you want, regardless of whether or not that's good or bad. Sometimes we need to listen to this because it's what makes life worth living, and sometimes we need to think about what's sensible. Be reasonable about things and not be destructive or hurtful or other various negative things. And then we have the Judgment card. And the Judgment card is what gives us the ability to choose between what we should do and what we want to do. What we are tempted to do and what is best to do, what we feel obligated to do and what is right to do. So it's this dichotomy of how to make choices. It's choosing between two paths. Choosing what you should do and what is right. Choosing what will make others happy and choosing what will make you happy. Choosing what is best for everyone, or choosing what is best for the person you're most scared of. Those kinds of choices. So in that aspect, a lot of times when I'm talking to my clients, the Hierophant, though I view this as a positive card, in readings this normally comes up as a negative card. This is the card that says they're looking, because I'm almost always doing relationship readings, this is almost always they're looking for someone their family will approve of, or they're looking for someone to fit a traditional role. They're looking for someone they have been taught they're supposed to be looking for. Okay, so this is the woman who is looking for Prince Charming, who has the super good career, is a perfect provider, is well educated, and who she can just stay home and take care of. Or this is the man who is looking for the woman who is perfectly coiffed, who has excellent manners, and has no problem taking care of him at home. Or this is oftentimes the person who believes that they're supposed to have a traditional societal relationship when really they have they are queer or lesbian or gay, or they have a non-standard relationship preference, like these kinds of societal pressures. So a lot of times when this card comes up, it's somebody who's struggling with expectations that have been placed on themselves and what it is they really want for themselves. When this card comes up, it's often a 50-50 split between whether or not this is a good card or a bad card. But usually this is either, it depends on the context of the question. For my male clients, this is usually a good card. When this card comes up, that means like, yes, this is a relationship that you can feel free to indulge in because there are no expectations of future obligations here. And for my female clients, it's usually the same thing, but like, no, you shouldn't commit to this relationship because there are no intentions of future obligations here. So this card is very much about temptation and the easy way and shortcuts and doing what you feel like doing in the moment without any kind of need for future responsibility. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes we just want the cake or the pie, or sometimes we just want to relax and sleep in and not worry about whether or not we're going to pay for that extra hour of sleep in 3 weeks from now. And sometimes we need to be responsible human beings. And when you need to resist this and it's hard, you need to figure out what's off balance in your life and why resisting this is hard and fix that. Because obviously some part of you is not being served. So the Devil is a really good card in that he shows us where we're neglecting ourselves, and when sometimes we have to allow ourselves to cut loose a little. And Judgment, of course. A lot of times, the way I was raised to read tarot, this is about having to face a decision and needing to treat it seriously. But as I've developed as a tarot reader, this is a serious decision. I mean, it's a major arcana card, so it's all pretty serious here. But Judgment is about having the wisdom to see which path is better despite how the paths look. Which one is wisest for your future, and which one is wisest now, and which one will serve everyone the best. So it's not always the one that is the sensible decision. Sometimes you have to look a little bit deeper. And you really have to break down your priorities and what you're looking for and what you want to get out of this decision in order to make that decision. And so it's not just something that you can, it's not about just doing like the right thing. You really have to sit down and analyze this one from all angles. And so it's about making the truly responsible decision, not just the decision that seems responsible. I hope that makes sense. So yes, and the way that reflects on me is I've been doing a lot of things where I feel obligated to other people, and I'm often very much a sucker. I'm someone who will agree to do things for people, and I think it's no big deal. And at first blush, it usually is no big deal, and then there's like scope creep happens, and like that quick little thing that they asked me to do turns into a 3-month project, and the next thing I do, I'm running an entire event from 4 states away, and I don't know how that happened. And that's pretty a standard practice for me, so I kind of feel like these readings have been coming to me because I need to start learning how to give myself a little bit more devil, allow myself to have some pie, and allow myself to say like, no, I think I only feel like donating my time to one charity right now. So I don't think I need any more charitable projects to take over my time right now. I think one is probably enough, and I do like sleeping in on Saturdays, so I'm gonna do that. And kind of guarding my time and taking care of myself that way instead of thinking that I need to wear myself to the bone. And also letting go of a lot of the pressure that I've put on myself with the idea that I have to do things in a traditional way. Like I have to try to keep myself on a regular sleep schedule, or be awake when the rest of the world is awake, or do anything else in the way other normal people do. It's fully okay for me to go ahead and just figure out what works for me and my brain and my body, and then just do that in a healthy way. So yeah, a lot of these lessons that I've been learning in the last year, and it's kind of funny to end up in that place alongside my clients. So even though they're getting love readings, I seem to be getting life readings. So I guess that's what stalker cards are really all about. So those were mine for 2017. And I'm looking forward to getting caught up on everyone's blogs. So I will see you in the next one. Bye!